Hey guys, what's going on? This is James, and we're back again today for another Ecom Machines video. In today's video, what I wanted to talk about, some of the easiest products that you can sell on Shopify for a profit. Now, here's what I see a lot of people doing. I see a lot of people trying to sell general products, stuff like, I don't know, like teeth whitening, like weird skateboards and just like bikes and like all these weird things that are just kind of general. There's no niche to them. And so what people do is they get into Shopify and they start selling these weird general items that maybe would work good on Amazon or eBay or something like that. But for Shopify, you want to be niching down. And it was actually at Justin Senior's event about a month ago, maybe a couple weeks ago. And he was talking about how the best way to be doing Shopify, in his opinion, and mine too, is niche down. Make a niche store as opposed to a general store. And you know, it's weird because that's kind of backwards from the way that I used to think. I used to think that making a general store was the way to go, but it's really not. You know, a lot of people will ask, well, what happens to my pixel on a general store? Is it going to optimize per ad and all? There's all these confusing things that happen when you have a general store. So what I like to do is just kind of keep things separate. If I have a dog store, I'm going to have my Facebook ads account for my dog niche store. And if I want a cat store, I'm going to have it completely separate from the dog store. I'm going to have a separate Facebook ads account, a separate Shopify store, separate logo, separate brand, separate everything. And not only is that a more organized way to go at things, but it's also, in my opinion, the smart way to do things. Because then you'll have an email list full of one niche and not, 50 different niches. And guys, I want to say that one of my first stores was actually a general store. This was kind of before I was taught that concept when I first started ecom. And I had a lot of success with it. I did about $50,000 or $60,000 in revenue within my first couple months. By selling, a watch and, a couple other things. And it was all at the general store. It was not niche down at all. So it's not like general stores don't work. And if that's what you want to do, then go for it. But in my opinion, the easiest way to get started in Shopify is niche down. So what does that have to do with easy products to sell? Well, it's just kind of reinforcing this rule even more. Because what you want to be doing is you want to be selling products that have passion behind them. A lot of people don't think about that. They just try to start selling random stuff that they find on AliExpress, like phones or electronics or whatever. So sell things with a passion. For example, I always use this watch as an example, but it's a good example because it's a general product. It's a watch, right? Anybody can wear a watch, but it's also niche down because it's more for a certain niche. Anybody could wear the watch, but it's more of a niche product. And the product was a speedometer watch, and I'll try to put a picture of it up in front of me right now. But it was basically I marketed this to car enthusiasts. I did very well with this watch. I made a good amount of money off this watch, and it was because I found a niche to advertise this to. I see a lot of people trying to start watch stores, which is okay, whatever. But it's going to be a lot more work than if you start a store that is based around a passion. The people that are generally passionate about watches are passionate about Rolexes and expensive watches. They're not going to be buying your AliExpress watches for the most part. Not to say that they wouldn't. Movement watches did something similar to that, and they built up a huge brand. But that was not, I guarantee you that wasn't easy, and it took a lot of time and effort, I bet. I don't just bet that, I guarantee you that that's what it took, right? So don't expect to just hop on and put up watches and put them on a general store and expect them to sell, because it's probably not. So my advice to you is, when you're looking for products to sell on Shopify, find something that's niche down. That is your best bet, because it's so much easier. The way we market these products is on Facebook. It's so much easier to find a market and find people who are most likely going to be interested in whatever niche that you're in, whether it's skydiving, dogs, I don't know, whatever. So really, it's all about finding passionate niche products. Like the watch example that I gave you guys earlier. People are passionate about cars, and they are passionate about their car, and they're passionate about all things cars. So they're going to be more likely to buy a watch that looks like a speedometer, right? Because speedometers are in cars, so it only makes sense when you put two and two together like that. That's when you find a winning product, and that's when you make it easier for yourself, especially if you're just beginning. So guys, that is my tip for the day. Thank you guys for watching. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel. We got more content coming out weekly. And with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next video. Later.